the line. Wearing number 7, James Scanlon is the biggest threat in front of goal. An eagle-eye title-winning season for the Red Devils last time around. Will Sweet is twice against Arsenal in his distinguished career, but never did so in North London. With the league and the cup, he will be supported by Grant Taylor, Callum Goff, and the fourth official is Steve Hughes. So for Arsenal, a chance to reach the semi-finals for the second time in 3 years. Manchester United are wanting to take one step closer to a record 12th triumph in this competition. And Arsenal do come into this match actually hoping to bounce back from a first loss of the calendar year. That was against Brighton last weekend, a 3-2 defeat. Pass to Jadon Camason. Doesn't need a second invitation to get forward, it's Scanlon. Well blocked and out and behind for very early corner kick in this game to Manchester United.
Really good play from inside.
Curled inwards and dealt with that near post by Ibrahim. Won't get a second bite at the cherry though. And Arsenal get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, Ibrahim.
Marissa loses out. Here's Scanlon. Inviting Camason forwards, and the excellent, diligent defending there.
A little bit of space on the outside to get on the overlap.
Here is Scanlon again. Does win another corner. He's a curious case in that he has...
The curious case of James Scanlon rather than Benjamin Button. Is that going to be the sequel?
Something like that. In comes the corner from Fletcher. Picked away by O'Neill. Characteristically loose from what we've come to expect. It's a lovely ball looking for Musa. His back heel was well defended by Ibrahim. Good defensive positioning from the lying midfielder. Strong challenge by Braden Clark. It's him that's trying to stretch the play. It's a searching ball and it was just over the head of Scanlon. Mason's ball. Not quite away by Marisa. Scanlon will keep things alive. Well, Porter got the punch. It wasn't
into Jack Fletcher, who made sure he was touch tight, managed to nick it off him just in this opening 8 minutes.
Positive play by Dowman, who will draw the foul and win the free kick. And the game's first yellow card as well. Jacob Miles.
Well, Jacob Miles, the referee, has just given Jacob Duhaney, the Man United captain, getting his tackles in, so he's got to be very careful. I was just about the under-18s coach. We're pleased off you haven't conceded, but he would see the same thing as us.
Stowman, having been on international duty with England under-17s, they had a double-header against the Netherlands.
Mikel Arteta and all the coaches want, doesn't matter if you're a flair player or not, you've got to make sure you do your defensive stuff. And he did brilliantly there, where he just tracked back and nicked the ball for Jack Fletcher.
He uses his body well as well, doesn't he? That's the second time that he's... Tyler, bursting forward. And taking that one out of play.
Yeah, just overrun the ball. It was a good idea initially, just breaking down the inside, and Odegaard got brilliant balance, brilliant awareness. We saw there was a little back heel.
Speaking of awareness, they've picked out some space on this left-hand side. It's Biancheri to go for goal, and it was charged down bravely by Braden Clark.
Like he's got velvet carpets it was on. Just the ball just drops out of the air, just Christensen's touch, makes it look very, very easy.
O'Neill looking for the run of Louis Copley, who has stayed on side. Copley with a real opportunity.
The attack that we had. Great ball from O'Neill, just leaving.
Will mean a lot to him. Playing at Emirates Stadium this evening, Louis Copley is a boyhood Arsenal fan. It's O'Neill who's raced in behind, but that's another bit of brilliant defending. Reece Monroe this time.
Hit ball from Max Dowman. There in the end, it was really good.
Bit of space now for Jack Fletcher. Routine catch in the end for Jack Porter.
Yeah, Jack Fletcher just trying to get it onto his left from Monroe. Simple save from Porter. Just make.
Kept in by Biancheri. Now Amas. Took a huge boot there from Braden Clark. We had that one from our position.
Is the old-fashioned 1970s habit. If you can't take the ball, you take the plot.
And swinging. Here's again. Wasn't the worst ball in either. Amas. Oh, it needed to be saved. Jack Porter across to his left-hand side. The strong arm to keep.
Because the shot from Amas is coming through like a plethora of bodies. Just make sure it's a brilliant strike.
Has featured from the left-hand side. Biancheri. Encouraging, can make some forwards. Whose drive was always rising. Porter will argue him.
Got the ball into Biancheri.
Fletcher. Biancheri starting to become a bit more lively. Amas's ball in was a good one. Mason will keep things alive at that far post and look for the cutback too. Arsenal plenty of players between the ball and the goal. And Manchester United unable to capitalise.
It went over onto the right-hand side. Just making sure that we're staying man for man. Again, it's putting our bodies on the line. Just released O'Neill and Copley a couple of times. I'd like to see him just stay up front, just stay up in around the centre circle, because obviously he's dropping deep to try and help us out.
Biancheri's in behind here. Ball across was good. And Jack Fletcher, who will drive one. Pushed out by Porter. What a challenge that was. Marley Salmon, the 15-year-old, sliding in with a crunching tackle.
More laterally to the side of the goal, but it actually comes back in. Looks like Biancheri's
holding his twin brother, Jack Fletcher. And now Devaney. Scanlon's ball in. Just needed to be nodded behind by Louis Copley. Didn't know who was waiting. Short they go from the corner. Jack out. There is no out ball for the Gunners. So back it comes with Manchester United. Fletcher. Onto his right this time, and he struck that so sweetly. We've seen, haven't we, just how talented Rocket to put his side ahead at the Emirates.
We can't say it hasn't been coming, because I said about Jack Campbell's got to be a little bit closer, go and close the ball down, and we're right behind the flight of the ball, Max, and we can see as soon as it left his foot, just arrowed into Jack Porter's left-hand corner into the side netting. Fantastic goal from Jack Fletcher, and you have to say it's nothing more than what this young Manchester United team deserve, because they'd make it pay with an absolutely outstanding goal from Jack Fletcher.
It's by those at Manchester United, you could see exactly why. Arsenal probably found
job for his team.
Ogunaki looking for Copley. It's an easy claim for Will Murdoch.
Yeah, just took too much. Just trying to whip it in, but again we only had Copley in the box.
Away goes Musa. Sweet has some ground to make up. Musa has managed to pick out Fletcher. Not too far away from getting a second in quick succession.
First time, but say should be going back across Jack Porter. We've got to make sure now that we weather this.
And there, at the moment, nothing seems to be sticking for Arsenal. Endowment will now go into the book.
Yeah, it's a little bit naughty. You see, we got, a couple of 15-year-olds in our team, which is brilliant, because obviously they've gone up for standard.
Well, here they come, away, and it's Louis Copley with a chance! And Louis Copley with a brilliant finish! Arsenal get themselves level in the quarter-final.
Cool, can he stay calm? Boy, can he, because as he just gets into the 18-yard box, just waits for Murdoch to come out. Murdoch commits himself. It's a brilliant dink just over Murdoch. You have to say it is against the run of play, but fantastic quality into Louis Copley. And a fantastic finish. Make sure he stayed on side. You just saw him, he came in, he bent his run along the halfway line. High quality goal for us to equalise.
He was a player who emerged from the weekend. Mason's done so well again. Let's pull back towards Musa. It's going to be Fletcher to take the shot on.
Mason does brilliantly on the right hand side. Just goes past 4 players. Comes into Musa. Just make sure he holds the ball. Ever been to Gibraltar, Max? Ever been to Gibraltar? From out of the ground, because Max Dowman just turns him inside out about 3 or 4 times. Just comes in on the inside, then goes on the outside. He actually had pulled his shirt about 5 seconds before that, Max. I think we'll have to send the ground completely scrambled. I think he was just lost his balance, discombobulated.
The previous round, ultimately it didn't matter against Fulham. Arsenal. Dowman scores! It's 3 from 3 for Arsenal's teenage prodigy.
Of what he could be worth even now in the transfer market, because it was an outstanding run from him. Completely tied.
Let's have a look at the penalty before we assess the health of Arsenal's number 10.
Off over into the far corner. And just slid onto the floor.
And now they get to see it for themselves. What a brilliant run it was. Speaking of territory though, this is a good position for the visitors. In from Fletcher with his best delivery this evening.
Every day in training. And I've said he hasn't given the ball away. That's your fault, Max.
It's an audacious attempt and a flick, and it put his side back under pressure, so I'm sure.
It's really sloppy there from Marisa. You've got to make sure that you don't just give cheap possession away.
Fletcher again! Porter seemed confident. Good his angle.
Play from us, from Marisa giving the ball away. Comes out to Jack Fletcher, edge of the 18-yard box. This time again he gets it on his favoured left foot. Just comes back inside Ibrahim.
That he has to be able to get that back under his spell.
That's ridiculous. That's been pinged into him, and he's taken it on the outside of his left foot into the space that he knows is aware on his left hand side, and again enables us to get possession.
I can't believe what we're seeing. In comes the ball towards O'Neill, and Murdoch around us. Perry in the press box. We've got journalists who are filming him every touch. Scallon's ball. Good communication. Arsenal happy to just run the clock. O'Neill, good strength there to hold off Mason. He did eventually win it back. So too did Ibrahim.
Yeah, just got a little bit scrappy. But
Hamas. Scanlon. Darts away from one, but will happily take the corner kick. And give Manchester United a chance to send.
All Manchester United players just hovering around the penalty area. We've gone man for man.
Trying to ask another question of Jack Porter. And hook to safety. Was that ball in? It was Reece Munro who was climbing high.
You know, got the first contact for the majority of times.
This game incredibly effectively. O'Neill might open up for him. Did open up for him. Perhaps open up his...
At four minds there, because when he just gets the ball in that inside left position, there he should be shooting on the edge of the 18-yard box where he's got that little bit of space, and all he does is take that extra touch, just goes into 3 or 4.
Scanlon. And Carey desperately trying to make space ahead of him. Good give and go between the two. Scanlon gets there. So too does Will Sweet.
The shank of the day from Hamas there. Just seeing the great sliding tackle free roll.
There is O'Neill winning the first header. Second was away by Daniel Armour. Casey strike. It's pretty tame. Scanlon. Thwaites. So this near side for Mason, who drives one into that far corner. An absolute rocket from the right back, who had been so difficult for the Gunners to control in the first half.
Inside, comes out to Mason. You've got to make sure that you get closer. You've got to make sure you go and close the ball down, because just as it sits up, he smashes it just on the half volley with the outside of his...
That is an example of his quality, and he has just drawn this tie level once again. A vital goal at a vital time for the visitors. 5 minutes left to play of the 90, wasting no time in coming forward once more. Ogunaki. Easy claim for Murdoch. Ibrahim. Finding Dowman. You can hear the anticipation every time he gets the ball. And again, has managed to force the issue. This time it
works 1v1 with Thwaites. So you can actually sense the panic from Manchester United midfielders and back four when he gets it, because Thwaites there knew he had no answer whatsoever.
They trust him with all of their heart, all of their belief. This young Arsenal side. Dowman. By Biancheri again. Is there time for one last chance? Manchester United certainly think so. Hamas driving forward and straight into the...
Foot around it, good driving run. Get himself on the outside. So just trying to wrap his legs.
A couple of touches there by Thwaites. Good take on the run as well by Mandato. Onto his left. Sophia strike, whipped.
Just getting it out of his feet, just cutting him from his right-hand side onto his foot. You think he's just going to try and...
Manus will try to drag it to safety, and surely here for the evening, Perry. Nothing to separate these two sides, which means we'll have half an hour of extra time, 2 15-minute halves. And what a roller coaster of emotions it's been so far.
Yeah, very much so, Matt. I think that's probably something that, you know, as he develops, Max Dowman.
Mason trying again from a tighter angle in the second.
Yeah, he's always been a threat down that right-hand side for the whole game. Just talking about Max Dowman, he's just got to lend the ball and just give it away, you know, just 1 2 touches so he can give himself a little rest. Needs to get a better touch, because it actually got the